The craziest interrogation you'll ever see. On October 2nd, 2017, Aaron Fryer was brutally murdered inside his house while he was asleep. Prime suspects in his murder were his 15-year-old daughter, Ellen Fryer, her 19-year-old boyfriend, Gavin Curtis McFarlane, and 22-year-old Russell Jones. The three were brought in by the police, and their interrogation is what makes this case extremely rare than other cases. Stick around till the end of today's video at Crime 101 to see what the convicts have to say. Aaron Fryer was a resident of Medford, Oregon, who lived in a small house with his three daughters. One night, he was sleeping. His aluminum baseball bat that he kept for protection came swinging at his skull, and Aaron was knocked down the couch. While severely bleeding, he shouted, asking who it was, until there was another blow to the head. After 5 or 6 consecutive blows to the head, Aaron Fryer was dead. Aaron's body was then wrapped in a blanket and put in the trunk of his car. You must be wondering, who might have killed Aaron? His own daughter, Ellie? Well, yes and no. Ellie was indeed involved in planning the murder of her father, but she wasn't the one who hit him in the head. It was her boyfriend, Gavin Curtis McFarlane. Gavin was Ellie's senior at the South Medford High School, whom she met on Facebook and instantly fell in love with. As Ellie was underage, her father didn't allow her to continue the relationship and restricted her meetings with him. This led Ellie, Gavin, and Russell Jones to plan the most gruesome homicide of all time. In the early hours of that Monday morning, Gavin broke into Ellie's house. Gavin waited for Aaron to sleep, and after hearing him snoring, he killed him with a baseball bat. After killing Aaron, he instantly called Jones, who helped him wrap Aaron's body and load it into his car. The trio left with Ellie's dog and dumped Aaron's body outside Eagle Point and abandoned the vehicle a few blocks away. The same day, police were notified by a woman walking down Eagle Point about a dead body, which was identified as Aaron Fryer. Based on security footage from Walmart and the SSI building, the trio was identified and was brought into the police station for interrogation. This is where things start to get crazy, as the trio is brought into the police station for interrogation related to the murder of Aaron Fryer. To begin with, let's talk about the interrogation of Ellen Fryer, as her interrogation took the longest time. After bringing Ellie to the police station, she was sent to the interrogation room, where the team noticed her body language and nonverbal cues for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, Detective Stephanie Smith entered the room to interrogate Ellie. The detective started to ask some basic questions like her name, to which she didn't reply directly.
You don't want to tell me your name?
Rain.
Rain?
However, Ellie told the investigator a single truth about how her father didn't approve of her relationship with Gavin. She also told her detective about how her father was an alcoholic who would physically and verbally abuse her. Ellie didn't make these allegations on the spot, as she had already told Gavin and Russell about them. After a while, the detective had information from the interrogation of Russell and Gavin, which she intelligently used to extract the confession out of Ellie. She entirely blamed Russell for murdering her father.
I think Mike took it too far and did that.
Okay.
And told her that she didn't know anything about what Russell had done to her father. Next up is the interrogation of the murderer, Gavin Curtis McFarlane. When Gavin was brought in by the police and was told about the evidence related to Aaron's murder, he decisively started confessing. He told the interrogator everything about the murder plan and what role each individual played in the murder. Gavin's friends and family were certain that Ellie was the one who would have manipulated him into killing her father.
Gavin was only protecting Ellie.
Now let's come to the craziest interrogation of the case, the interrogation of Russell Jones. When Russell was caught by the police, he cooperated and did everything the cops asked him to. Upon entering the interrogation room, Russell tried to prove his dominance when asked to sit on the chair and told them that he preferred standing.
Sit down. Well, you can sit down.
They eventually sat, and the interrogation began. Just like Ellie, Russell was the one left alone in the room for a while so that investigators could extract data from his body language. While sitting in the room, Russell started to act like the Joker.
I'm not demanding, I'm asking nicely. As a kind civilian that also knows how to manipulate cops.
While in the custody of the police, Russell began to pretend that he was a supervillain. During the investigation, he stared deep into the cameras and said, "I don't care if you're a Fed, I can still twist your little mind." After finishing his fries, Russell put on his supervillain persona and started putting forward his demands as if he was in power.
We can do this the nice way, or we can do it the hard way and I can release my bipolar.
He showed his power by turning on and off the recording device placed on the table. After a while, the interrogators entered the room, and Russell transitioned back into his collaborative persona. He narrated the entire story from his perspective and how he immediately threw up after seeing the dead body of Aaron. he confessed that he helped the duo dispose of Erin's body but didn't kill him. The trio pleaded guilty, and in the act of assisting the killing of her father, Ellen Rose Fryer was sentenced to 25 years in prison. For helping dispose of Erin Fryer's body, Russell Jones was sentenced to 15 years in prison, followed by 2 years post-prison supervision. Lastly, for killing Erin Fryer, Gavin Curtis McFarlane was sentenced to life imprisonment. That's all about the murder case of Erin Fryer and the craziest interrogation of the convicted trio. Let us know in the comments section what you think about this interrogation. Till then, have a nice day, and we'll see you with another spine-chilling video like this.